All right. Well, good morning and good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're joining us from today. And welcome to this Secret Path Week event. As we gather today, we are reminded that throughout Canada, we are situated on Indigenous lands, both ceded treaty land and unceded land. This land is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people today. As a country, we have a responsibility for the stewardship of this land on which we live and work. So today I acknowledge the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the neutral people on whose territory I am broadcasting live from today. So my name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. I run an organization called Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. We connect classrooms across North America with scientists, explorers, adventurers, and conservationists for live guest speaking and virtual field trip events. So do head over to exploringbytheseat.com if you haven't before, and check out the 40, 50, even 60 live events we have every month for classrooms to join in. So this is our third year collaborating with the Gore Downey and Chanie Wenjack Fund to bring Indigenous leaders, artists, and scientists live into the classroom and across Canada. We've got an incredible week coming up, 20 live events, including musical performances, language lessons, storytelling, and so much more. The Gore Downey and Chanie Wenjack Fund is part of musician Gore Downey's legacy and embodies his commitment and that of both the Downey and Wenjack families to build cultural understanding and create a path towards reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. So the big overarching goal is to continue the conversation that began with Chanie Wenjack's residential school story and to support the reconciliation process through awareness, education, and action. And many classrooms tuning in right now are legacy schools or legacy classrooms and are already doing something for reconciliation. If you've never heard of this program, the Legacy Schools program is a great program. It is a free national program that engages, empowers, and connects students and educators to further reconciliation through awareness, education, and action. So I'm going to share that link right there. Head over to thedowneywenjack.ca and you can find all the information you need to register your classroom. Well, we have a great guest joining us now. Sandra Sutter is an award-winning Cree Métis recording artist, songwriter, and musician who writes, records, and performs in multiple genres, encompassing roots music, including Native Americana, folk, country, pop, jazz, and rock. She was raised in a loving non-Indigenous family, and she affirmed and embraced her ancestral and cultural roots later on in her life. So she's really proud to be honoring her cultural roots. It's important to a woman whose birth heritage was lost through time and circumstance, and her influence through her culture, it influences everything she does through life, and she's grown to be an active and passionate advocate for Indigenous traditions and those rights. So let's bring Sandra in here with us live right now. Hi, Sandra, how are you?
Hey, Joe, good. Thanks for that great introduction. How are you?
Good, good. Thrilled to have you joining us today. We've got a great group of classrooms from across Canada joining us, and we're looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the question and answer period and sharing some music with everybody. It's really an honor to be here. I'm coming at you from Mohkinstsis, which is also known as Calgary. It's in the Blackfoot Confederacy, Treaty 7 area, and also the home of Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. So yeah, I'm really honored to be here with you all. There'll be lots of time to communicate with one another after, and I'm gonna share a song that I'm really honored to be able to share with you, because I think the work that Gore Downey and the Downey Wenjack Fund have done towards Reconciliation Canada is so important and so amazing. And I think that through the arts, we can share messages in a way that's a lot different than just talking. So this is one, and I'm coming at you from my office, which is kind of a weird thing for me because my studio technology is having a little glitch. So I think it's great because everything happens for a reason. So, you know, I mean, we always have to flow with whatever circumstances are in front of us. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm really glad to be doing with all of you. This one's called I Will Not Be Struck. this earth-like world, in this earth-like world, before they arrive. Under the sun like stars, under the sun like stars, they civilized. Run along the river on a secret path. I will not be struck, I'm not going back. I can see my father's face, warming his feet by the fire. Used to have each other, now we only have ourselves. Then I put my ear right against the rail. So what I couldn't hear, what I couldn't hear, I would feel. Run along the river on a secret path. I will not be struck, I'm not going back. I've been staring into space, forever or else, into the wilderness, and we only have ourselves. So now I'm going to switch instruments. This is a little see-through guitar. You can take this part here, you can take it off. So you can take this little guitar on airplanes with you, which is really cool. Give me 1 second so I can switch gears here. I'm going to play you some of my music. So as Joe mentioned earlier, I'm a singer-songwriter. Very honored to be able to do that. And I put out an album a few years ago called Cluster Stars. And it's pretty cool because Cluster Stars is an album that it was started in ceremony. And I had always played music for people, but I never really pursued it other than to play in bands around Calgary. I never pursued it on a national or international school until one day when I was driving to go and visit my elders, Reg and Rose Crowshoe. I saw a cloud as I was driving, and the cloud was this amazing cloud. It was multicolored like a rainbow, and it was a picture, a profile view, side of the face of an Indigenous man with a full headdress on in a cloud. And so I just about drove off the road, and I carefully looked around and continued on my journey safely and met my elders and told them what I'd seen. And they said, "Oh, Sandra, that cloud was just for you. Nobody else saw it. And now you have to put your music out there for the world to hear." So my music is always vetted by my elders. I run all the words by them, and I run the music by them before I release the final product. And that's a real blessing for me to be able to do, so that I can help Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples to understand the issues that impact Indigenous peoples so that we can help build bridges towards reconciliation in Canada. And that's also, as you know, the work that Gord Downey did. So, so this one is a song called Peaceful Nation, and it's about the nature of Indigenous peoples. When I face the morning sunrise, I give thanks for the water that brings me life. Help me, my brothers, to keep the water pure. Work with me, together we'll find a cure. Do you know that when you look at me, you see not only my history? Do you know that what you see in me is a reflection of our eternity? We are a peaceful nation. We are a peaceful nation. When I hear the voice that echoes in a cool mountain stream, I feel inside my Creator's dream. His voice is a tree swaying, soft in the wind, he's saying, peace will reign again. Do you know that when you look at me, you see not only my history? Do you know that what you see in me is a reflection of our eternity? We are a peaceful nation. We are a peaceful nation. My brother, he's searching for his father, creator. My sister, she's searching for her mother, earth mother. Do you know that what they feel inside is hunger? Have you seen the unfed beast show its anger? Condemnation is not the answer. Love my hungry brother. Feed my starving sister. Honor my father. Respect my mother. 'Cause my brother, he's searching for his father, creator. My sister, she's searching for her mother, earth mother. Do you know that what they feel inside is hunger? Have you seen the unfed beast show its anger? We are a peaceful nation. 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 So that's one of the ones that's on the Cluster Stars album. Just don't want to lose this baby. And I'm going to play one that I haven't released yet. So this one's going to be coming out probably in February. I'm recording or filming. I'm producing a short film, and this song is one of the bookends in that short film, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But it's a song called Midnight Serenade, and Midnight Serenade was written one day when COVID first hit, and I thought about the things that can make us sad and the things that can be depressing. And one of those things is not being able to see the people we love. And sometimes silence comes and knocks on our door, and sometimes sadness comes and knocks on our door. And you know what? We have the ability to shake ourselves off and choose to walk away from sadness. It's not always easy to do, but even a quick walk around the block can help us to get to that place. So this one's called Midnight Serenade. Don't you bother me no more. I heard you when you knocked upon my door, but I'm not letting you in, 'cause I know where you've been before. Lonely, I don't want to see your face. There's parts of you I know I can't erase. So if you want and walk away, 'cause you don't get to stay in this place. No, you don't. Ooh, 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 ooh. Midnight serenade me. I know you wanna save me, but baby, I've heard all that before. Midnight, you know you can't be my man. Midnight, you just need to understand. So sing your serenade, but hear me when I say walk away. Midnight serenade me. I know you wanna save me, but baby, I've heard all that before. Yeah, midnight serenade me. I know you wanna save me, but baby, I've heard all that before. So that one's called Midnight Serenade, and I'm going to do one more for you, and then we're going to open it up for questions and answers. But before I start this song, I'm going to tell you it's a little play on words and a little play on an old story that's in the Bible. So after, maybe you can tell me what story you think it is and who the people in it are, some of the people in it. Because regardless of what people think, the Bible's a very... it's a storybook. It carries a lot of stories, whether you believe it or not. And I think that the stories can be metaphorical and can have good lessons for us in life. But I also think we get to have our own opinion about how we interpret many, many things in life. And that's one of the reasons that I love the artistic practices, the artistic disciplines. So this one's a sing-along. It's called Last Supper. And the sing-along part, it's love. Love is the answer. Love is the key. So that's your part. If you guys feel like singing along, that'd be fantastic. Here we are gathered around the table, and I wonder, where have we all been? Pass the lamb, pass me my potatoes. And share with me your dreams. Yeah, you were once the captain of a fine boat, and you, the creator of schemes. And she was just a maiden, and she believes, here we go guys, that love is the answer. Yeah, love is the key. We're gonna do that part again. Love is the answer. Yeah, love is the key. Well, he was the savior, and now he's old news. But she still loves the savior, and she believes that love, here we go, love is the answer. Awesome, guys. Love is the key. One more time there. Yeah, love is the answer. Woohoo! And love is the key. Yeah, you're the voice of reason. You're my compass, my best friend. And I am the voice of treason. Though I've been your companion, been your friend. Here we go. Love is the answer. Yeah, love is the key. One more time. Yeah, love is the answer. Yeah, love is the key. So long, I know you must be going. So long, my savior and my friend. Farewell, where you go I cannot follow. Farewell, I will be with you in the end. 'Cause love, you got it, is the answer. Yeah, love is the key. One more. Yeah, love is the answer. Yeah, love is the key. Awesome. And she doesn't know why you left her. Yeah, and she still grieves. And even though you've gone on to heaven, well, your maiden, she believes, last time, guys, that love is the answer. Yeah, love is the key. One more. Yeah, love is the answer. Awesome. Yeah, love is the key. And she's trying to find her way to heaven. Good job, you guys. That was awesome. And Joe, I'm ready for the Q&A if you are.
Absolutely. Amazing, Sandra. That was so great. I just love that see-through guitar. That's so cool. And the music was just tremendous. So Sandra, thank you so much for joining us today to share some of your music with us and giving us a little taste of something new that's coming up. Really cool.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, excellent. Well, we're going to start visiting some classrooms. Classrooms tuning in via the YouTube, feel free to send a few questions in via the chat, and we'll work in some of those questions. And then, of course, we have some camera classrooms with us, and a few of them will have device issues today with their microphones. So a few of them are going to type their questions in there as well. But let's get jumping right in, and let's get some Q&A going. So the first class we're going to visit today, let's make sure it's pulled up there. There we go. We're going to head to a grade 7 and 8 class. Ms. Farr's class is joining us. Let's see how the connection is. Hey, Mrs. Farr, how are you? There's everybody. We're getting a little bit of feedback. That's okay.
We can't hear.
Okay. Why don't you send the question via the chat? Maybe that's easier. Okay. Perfect. Okay, Sandra, I'm sure you hear that sometimes when you're setting up. You get a little of that feedback. They just have to run on 2 devices today so that it's nice and big for the classroom. So that's why we got a little bit of that feedback. But let's see here. Let's grab. There we go. So Mrs. Farr is wondering, her 7 and 8s, if you sing any of your songs in Cree.
You know, I don't yet. However, I'm learning Cree from my friend Rob Mooswa. He's from Saddle Lake. Here in Alberta, and he's done a translation, started the translations for the songbook. So my songbook has lyrics in English of all of my songs, so that people can read those and sing along if they want to. Yeah, there's one part of Peaceful Nation, the song that I sang second in today. One part of that has been translated into Cree. It's pretty crazy because you have to translate in a way that the words will rhyme so that when you sing them and the cadence of them will make sense within the music. So that's something that I'm going to be applying for funding through Lyric Find for, and I'm hoping to put the songbook, Cluster Stars, all of the songs out in more than Cree. I am Cree Métis, so I'd also like to put them out in Michif, and eventually, because some of the folks I hang out with are Ojibwe and Blackfoot, I'd like to put the lyrics out in those languages too. So that's probably a 5-year project. Thank you for asking.
All right, a great project. And I think, you know, some students might not be aware is that we're losing languages daily around the world. So it is so important to preserve these languages for the next generations.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, I'm going to grab let's grab a question here. I can see a few coming in via YouTube. So I'm going to grab one here. So this group is joining us from Dorset Drive Public School, and they're wondering, how can we use music in the classroom to explore reconciliation?
Wow, I think there's so many ways that you can use music in the classroom to explore reconciliation. There are a lot of musicians who are creating music in this space. You know, I'm only one of many, but Gord Downey, for instance, as a non-Indigenous man, his work has done astronomical good across the country in reconciliation. So I think that one of the ways that you can do that is, you know, to start at the beginning and maybe everybody agree on a song or 3 songs or 4 songs. Since we're Indigenous, 4 is a great number to work with. 4 songs that you want to work with and learn, and to do that together with a drum or, you know, with a rattles, so you can get the percussion going. It's always good to have the rhythm before you start anything else. And then I love that idea, because you can listen to music, you can learn about it that way, you can listen to each of the instruments, you can listen to the rhythm, and everything tells you something different. You know, the drum is the heartbeat of Mother Earth, and where is the excitement in the song? And then there's lyrical harmonies that speak to different emotional feelings in humans. So you could look at what are the harmonies in the song, and even things like what's the instrumentation and how does that make you feel? I think discussing how things make you feel is a really fantastic thing. One of the things you could probably see right here on my filing cabinet, I have a picture that somebody drew. So that's another thing that people are doing, is drawing pictures while they're listening to music of what the subject matter means to them. So what does reconciliation mean to you? What is a Gord Downie song like I Will Not Be Struck? How does it make you feel? And maybe draw that and color that and just let your imagination go wild. I think that's one of the things that you could do. Clearly, this is a passionate subject for me.
Absolutely. Very cool. Great suggestions. And I'm glad, it's great to see classrooms thinking about it and how they can bring reconciliation into their classroom in different ways. All right, Miss Becker's fifth graders are hanging out with us. I think I saw them rocking out during some of the music. There they are. Hey, Miss Becker's crew, how are we doing?
We're doing great, thanks.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too. It is raining actually here today, Joe. So much for the great weather, but we're loving this weather. So thank you. Our question, Sandra. Thank you so much for performing. And one of our questions has to do with your creation of songs, and then when did you start, and then how did you know you wanted to take your music on tour?
Yeah, so great questions. I started with music when I was 7. I started playing piano when I was 7. I started writing music when I was 12 years old. The first song I wrote was terrible, but you know what? You got to start somewhere. And I started playing in my first band. I think I was 15 years old. And then I've played in bands for decades, clearly. But I started taking this music seriously and in the work of reconciliation 4 years ago when the elders asked me to do that. Because when an elder asks you to do something in a good way, then you need to do everything you can to support that request. And yeah, so 4 years ago, I started down this path, and it's just been amazing to get to play a small role in how we communicate with one another and understand each other, and getting to know other musicians and all those amazing things. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
All right, I think so. What do you think, Miss Becker? Perfect. All right. Let's jump back to YouTube. There's a few questions coming in through here. And so this is a class that's joining us. Where are they joining us? Grade 7/8 from Scarborough, Ontario. And Wenfang is wondering, are you singing at concerts? So I'm sure before COVID, you probably were a lot. What are you doing now? And do you think you'll be back on the road soon?
Yeah, I play about twice a month when we're not in COVID, on the live and on the road. So I expect we'll be gearing up to do that again soon. I'm hoping soon, because it's such a fantastic way to get to meet people, and it feeds my soul to play live with other musicians. So this week I'm playing at an event on Thursday night, and doing little shows around town, little things. A couple weeks ago, I did something for Orange Shirt Day downtown at Olympic Plaza. It was amazing, and I think, because I work full time as well in this same kind of activity, but in business, I work to build partnerships between Indigenous communities and businesses to help Indigenous communities be able to participate equitably in the Canadian economy. So I get to carry my music with me when I do that work for my work. So I can do random pop-up concerts anywhere. And I always have my see-through guitar or something with me so that I can do that. So my band and I are reassembling. I've had, unfortunately, some illness with one of my musicians who I love dearly. And when he recovers from that, we'll be able to start playing again together. But in the meantime, I'm going to be playing with another guitar player. So yeah, you can always find where I'm playing on sandrasutter.com, or follow me on Instagram if that's something that kids your age do. Maybe I should be doing something else. I'd appreciate your advice on social media to reach you. And that would be helpful for me.
All right, very cool. I'm sure they'll have some, so we'll see if anything comes in before we wrap up today. But I do want to go to Miss Howard's crew. They're joining us from Sayward Elementary, and they've sent in quite a few questions here. And so let's start off with one of them here. So maybe this student here, R, plays the guitar. I'm wondering about their question. They're wondering about the, oh, actually, maybe they can just ask them live. Their camera wasn't on before, but let me bring them in and see. There we go. Hey, Ms. Howard, how are you doing?
Hi, we're doing great. Thanks. We were enjoying the music and there was some dancing happening in here.
Excellent.
So the first question that came up from one of the students was that whether you consider your own voice when you select strings so that they complement your voice and how you go about that.
You know, that's amazing. What an amazing question. Whoever asked that question clearly has an ear that is way more profound than mine is. I go to the music store and say, hey, I'm playing this kind of guitar. What kind of string should I use? Because I have sensitive fingers. And they tell me use this light gauge string. I usually use the adagio strings on my guitars, on my acoustic electric guitars anyways. Yep. Great question.
All right. Very cool. Let's see. Ms. Farr put another question here for us. And their class is wondering, this might be a hard one, but do you have a favorite song you've written?
Wow. And I need to correct the strings. D'Addario strings, not adagio. Adagio is a musical term. Do I have a favorite song that I sing? You know, yeah, I think so. One of the songs on the Cluster Stars album is called Love Touch. And it's not an easy song. It's about domestic violence. But it's an important song because it takes all of us to create positive change in the world. It takes, you know, women and men and non-binary people to stand up against any kind of violence. And so Love Touch is a story that's kind of about how sometimes it's confusing when you experience violence or bullying, especially from someone you love, and you still love them, and that's okay, but you don't need to subject yourself. You can love yourself more. You can love yourself enough to find a way to be in a better situation with help, often from others, but you need to love yourself more than you love that other person. And that's really, you know, our relationship with the Creator. That's the most important thing. Our relationship with the Creator is also our relationship with ourselves, because He created us. Creator created us perfectly. And you're all perfect, lovely, just the way you are. So that's Love Touch is one of my favorite songs. Thank you.
All right. Great question. Miss Thatcher's class is tuning in with us, and they're wondering about influence on your writing. Has the residential school system, the legacy of that, has that had an influence on your writing?
Yeah, it's had a tremendous influence on my writing. And, you know, trying to find a way to emotionally convey the impact of how I feel, what I've learned, and to make that available to people in a way that's not going to wound them or wound me. You know, I think that music can be very cathartic, just like any art form can. But it's really important that we create a way in what we do for people to find the light at the end of that sad story. So it's really important to me that all of my music also carries truth, but a positive message. How can we move forward together? We're all in this together. Thanks for that question.
All right. It's a great question. And Miss Becker, if you have another question, just give me a wave. I'll come back to your crew if you do. But I do want to grab another one here from Miss Howard's crew, because they've sent in a few great questions, and I really like this one. So E is joining us. Oh, maybe they want to hear. I'll bring it in here. I see they popped up.
Your own voice? You want me to ask for you? All right, we have a student in our class who's Inuit, and he heard that you were going to be performing. So he and his dad have been listening to your music in advance. And he just wonders, do you have any songs that are specifically about fathers and sons?
Thank you for listening to my music. And, you know, the song that I sing that's about fathers and sons is called My Father's House. It's for everyone, but I wrote it based on a story that's about a father and son. So have a listen to that one and see if you can see yourself and your dad in that song, maybe. And then another friend of mine has a song called A Father's Prayer. His name's Darren Barton. So that one we will probably be coming out with in the next 9 months or a year. And now that I've said it out loud, he's going to probably kill me, but we'll have to do it. So watch for that one too by Darren Barton, A Father's Prayer. It's a beautiful song. All
right. Very cool. Sometimes that little nudge, that commitment via live stream is what you need to get something going. Very cool. All right. So Miss Thatcher's crew wants us to know that they're from Acton, Ontario. So that was a great question about the influence of the residential schools system on your writing. I know Miss Becker's crew has another question, so I'm going to pop them back in here.
Hello again. We would like to know about the drawings and the drum behind you over your left shoulder.
So this drum, one of the albums that I wrote, won Best Producer Engineer at the Indigenous Music Awards. It's got a beautiful, rich tone, and this was the award that we were given for Cluster Stars for that. And the pictures, oh, I love the pictures. So this one, my photographer is a First Nations photographer named Ramsey Kunkel, one of my photographers, and one of his kids did this one for the song Standing People that's on the Aurora 12 album. And his other child did this one for one of the Christmas songs that's on the Aurora 12 album. And I love them because I just love how expressive children are in their art. It inspires me. And this one over here, you can't really see, but that I mentor a young and Métis man named Ashton. And that's one that Ashton created for me. So that's where that art is from. And then there's some other awards up here that Cluster Stars won, a Native American Music Award, and then a Summer Solstice Indigenous Music Award for Aurora 12, and a Sequoia Award in the arts in Alberta. And I wanted to talk about awards because, I mean, if kids or anyone are inspired to play music or to do art, you don't just randomly win an award. I wanted to mention that. You need to apply for awards. So the same thing as when you enter a talent contest, when you enter an awards competition, there are humans involved in judging or voting on your work. And I want to encourage everyone to not pay any attention to if you win or not, if you're nominated or not. That doesn't mean that your music or your art is not excellent. It just means it didn't, it wasn't the preferred music of the people who were judging or choosing the individuals to be nominated. So never, never give up, because everybody has a different preference. Some people like the color blue better than the color red, right? Some people like hip hop music. Some people like country and Western. So where there are humans, there is hope. And where there is art, there is always expanded minds and consciousness. But none of these things just came to me because I created music. They came to me, I think, from me personally, because I created music in a good way with the advice and guidance of my elders and started it in ceremony. There's that, but I also applied for the awards processes for the work that I've created. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, and I think that's important too, is to, believe strongly in what you do and put it out there, and yeah, good things happen.
Definitely.
Very cool. Well, I want to start off with a huge shout out to the classrooms who tune in on YouTube. Thanks for sending us in such great questions today. To the classrooms who join us in camera spots, thank you for your questions and sharing with us. And Sandra, what a treat to have that performance today, to share your music with us, a little bit of the stories behind some of it. It was just an absolute pleasure to have you joining us during Secret Path Week.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here during Secret Path Week.
So I'm going to pop in a couple of the classrooms who have their cameras still on there so they can give a big wave there. There's a couple of them. Hey, everyone. It was good to see you joining us today. Thank you so much. And again, Sandra, we're looking forward to what comes down the line, and beautiful songs, especially that new one. It was really cool to hear that today. So thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.